Good morning, friends. Today's topic will be basics of computer. Uh, I will discuss what is a computer. See, a computer is an electronic device that accepts raw data as input and processes the raw data with a set of instruction to produce result as output. So, what does it mean? It means a computer takes in raw data, processes the raw data, and gives us information. This is the same thing. These are some other definitions. So it says like this: a computer is a machine that can be programmed to accept data, that is input, process it into useful information as output, and store it away in a secondary device for safekeeping or later reuse. The processing of input to output is directed by the software but performed by the hardware. So all this thing is done by software, but actually it is performed, it is worked by the hardware. So this is basically what is basically a computer is made up. Means these are the parts of a computer. See, the computer is divided into two parts: hardware part and the software part. Again, the hardware is divided into four parts: input, output, processing device, and storage device. Similarly, the software is divided into three parts: system software, utility software, and application software. In today's chapter, we will be discussing in brief about all these things. So, what is basically a hardware? See, hardware is the part of the computer which we can see, which we can feel. Basically the physical part of a computer is known as the hardware. See, the definition says something like this: a computer hardware refers to the physical part of a computer which we can touch and feel. Internal hardware devices include motherboard, hard drives, and RAM. See, internal hardware devices are devices that are inside the CPU. It can be RAM, it can be the hard disk, it can be the motherboard. All these things are shown in this photo. You can check it out. Then what is a software? A software is a set of instruction or program used to operate computers and execute specific tasks. Software is a generic term used to refer to an application or a script and program that run on a device. Basically, softwares are the programs that help the hardware to work. So these are instructions. Softwares are instructions. There are a lot of softwares. In mobile phone, we call these softwares as applications, apps. See, I told you hardware is divided into four parts. This is the first part: input device. See, these devices like the keyboard, the mouse, the scanner, or the joystick, they are used to send data, to capture data from the user and store it inside the computer. Then comes the output device. See, here are some of the examples of output device: printer, monitor, headphone. All these are output device. These device displays the information that are stored inside the computer. All the informations that are stored inside your computer will be displayed by the output device. Then there is something called as a processing device. See, these are the brain of the computer. So these things processes all the raw information that we give to the computer. It processes it and it gives us the final output as the information that we want. So it is basically the brain of the computer. These are known as processors. So here are some examples of these processing devices like Intel Celeron, Intel P4, Core 2 Duo. All these are different types of processor. According to the definition, it is said When a computer receives data from a input device like keyboard, the data goes through an intermediate stage before it is sent to the output device. So this processing device acts as an interpreter. Whatever I type in the computer, suppose I type something in my keyboard, the processor will interpret it and tell the computer what to display. So this is the work of a processor. It is the brain of the computer. Then is the storage device. People call it memory devices also. See, these are devices that are used to store data temporarily or to store data permanently in the computer, like hard disk, RAM, ROM. We will be discussing about this thing in details. See, the memory of the computer again can be divided into two parts: primary memory and the secondary memory. RAM and ROM are part of the primary memory. CD, DVD, pen drive, hard disk, many types of external devices that store data are part of the secondary memory. Again, RAM again can be divided into two parts: DDR and SDDR. Similarly, ROM can be divided into three parts: PROM, EPROM and EEPROM. We will be discussing all this. So let me first explain to you what is a primary memory. Primary memory includes ROM and RAM and is located close to the CPU on the computer's motherboard. That enables the CPU to read data from the primary memory very quickly. So these are memories that are present in the motherboard near the CPU, so that basically used for quick calculation, and it stores little bit of data, but the processing power of these storage devices are very fast. It's a fast storage device. It is used to store data that the CPU needs immediately, so that it does not have to wait for it to be delivered. So if I want to process some very quick data, I store it in the primary memory. So primary memory consists of two things, I told you: RAM and ROM. So what is RAM? RAM stands for random access memory. RAM is a short term memory where data is stored and when the processor needs it. Till the processor needs it, as and when the processor needs it, the data is stored there. It is a temporary memory. It is volatile in nature, means data that is stored in RAM gets deleted whenever we switch off the computer. Then comes ROM. The full form of ROM is read-only memory. It is a type of non-volatile memory, means the memory does not get deleted. It is a permanent memory. Data stored in ROM cannot be changed, so we cannot change the data that is stored in ROM. Even if the current goes, even if we switch off the computer, the data that is stored in ROM will be there. Next time when we on the computer, the data will still be there. Then there are three types of ROM. PROM, programmable read-only memory. These are kind of ROMs that can be programmed only once. Once it is programmed, it is permanent. Then comes EPROM, erasable programmable read-only memory. It is similar to PROM. We can program it once, and if I want to delete the program, I put it near ultraviolet ray. When I put it in front of any ultraviolet light, the data inside the ROM or you can say PROM gets deleted, and again you can reprogram it. There is another one known as EEPROM, or electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. Here what happens is, whenever you want to erase the data in a EEPROM, you just put it, give some electrical signals into it, electrically the data is removed from the ROM, and again we can program it. That is why it is written as electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. Then let us talk about the secondary memory. See, these are secondary memories are those memory which are used for storing data for long-term uses, like our hard disk or a pen drive or a memory card or these kind of things, where if we want to store the data for longer period, we use secondary devices. Most of the secondary devices can be removed very easily from the computer. Now, I have already discussed what is a software. So there are three types of software we have spoken about. The first one is the system software. System software is a type of computer program that is designed to run a computer hardware. It is the interface between the hardware and the user's application. The operating system is the best example of a system software. What is system software basically? System software are computer programs that are designed to run a hardware. Means these kind of softwares are designed for the hardware to work. Like suppose the program, suppose I move the mouse, the program, the operating system or the system software tells the mouse what to do. The cursor in a keyboard, if I press something in the keyboard, the cursor, the key should, whatever key I press, it should be displayed in the monitor. All these things are interpreted by the system software, and then it tells the hardware, like here the monitor, how to print or what to print when someone presses some particular key in the keyboard. So these kind of things, which acts as a translator between the user, that is me, and the hardware, that is the part of the computer that is inside. Application softwares, these are computer programs that are designed for a specific task. Like suppose I want to type a letter, so what I will do, I will open Microsoft Word and then type a letter. So for typing a letter, we use a particular type of software known as Microsoft Word. For listening to music, I might open a Windows Media Player and listen to music. So in order to watch a movie, I might open VLC player and watch a movie. We will, for specific purpose, we use specific softwares. These kind of softwares are known as application software. Then there is something known as utility software. Utility software helps in managing, maintaining and controlling computers' resources. So there are certain things that, see, the system software works with the hardware, but these utility software works basically inside the computer and does some tasks that need to be done, like an antivirus software. It is a utility software. It checks the entire hard disk of my computer or an external device that I am connecting with my computer, so that virus does not enter into my computer. Or something called as WinZip, WinRAR, it does some particular task with my computer. So those kind of softwares, like a driver of a particular hardware, is an utility software. It manages the system, it manages the tools that are present in the computer. Thank you.